This is a special episode of the Inspired Entrepreneur's Guide podcast. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Darlene, and welcome to the Inspired Entrepreneur's Guide, the podcast that encourages you to stop dreaming and start doing. So this week, I am sharing a special podcast episode with you. First, I wanted to tell you a little bit about a change in the podcast episodes and output of them. So in the past, I've been producing 2 guest interview podcasts a month. Moving forward, I'm going to be airing 1 guest interview a month with some resource episodes that will air periodically. So the podcast will specifically be 1 episode a month with some supporting podcast episodes produced as I am able to do so. Here's the reason. And in my case, with my business and personal life, it's just that point in time where I need to scale back a little bit. I have several other projects that I am working on, and I want to always be sure that I'm putting my best foot forward for you, my listeners, and producing the best possible podcast episode and episodes that I can put forth. So by scaling back, I can focus all of my energy on putting out 1 awesome episode a month for you of the Inspired Entrepreneur's Guide. A lot's going on, and I want to do this show justice and do you guys justice by giving you the best that I can possibly do. I don't want to ramble on, but I also don't want to waste this opportunity to share some inspiration with you. So in this episode, I want to talk about handling professional setbacks. It's something that we'll all experience at one time or another, and it leaves us with not a pretty feeling. And sometimes during a professional setback or an obstacle, we can feel down and uninspired and really just have this negative feeling. And so I wanted to share with you 3 ways in which you can get past the setback and move forward. So for the sake of this episode, I'm going to talk about a professional setback. Here's an example of one. Let's say you have several clients in your business, and one of them is a high-paying long-term client. And they come to you and they say they no longer need your services. In the moments after the break, you may feel upset, nervous, wonder where that lost income is going to come from. You are going to feel, or you may feel, downright panicked. And that's okay. But here's the thing. It's just a moment. And moments are fleeting. It will pass. So here's some advice tested and approved by yours truly on how to deal with a professional setback. 1, accept it. Accept the setback. Accept that this happened to you. Cry, scream, shout, curse at the wind. Whatever you have to do to get those emotions out and accept them, do it. Allow yourself to experience the emotions. Now, that's not to say to dwell and be consumed by self-pity. It's just accept it, honor those emotions, and then move on. So the next step to moving on is understand the setback. Once you've given yourself time to work through your emotions, understand why the setback happened. Most times, it's something you can't control, and that's something you're going to have to learn to accept. But in other times, it may be a setback that you could control, or you can control in the future. So now you've screamed and cursed and understand why the setback happened. Now you can plan. Now you can put a plan into place to avoid such a setback or soften the blow should the same thing happen in the future. So let's go back to the loss of a high-paying long-term client as an example. So sure, this can happen again. In fact, you're bound to lose a client or 2. Businesses change. People go out of business. People change their business direction. So at some point in time, you're going to probably lose another client. However, By accepting that initial setback, understanding why it happened, you can now put a plan into place to ensure a full practice of clients or consistent interest in your services. Perhaps marketing efforts were less than stellar prior to losing your long-term client. Well, now with a plan, you can consistently market your business and keep your marketing funnel full. And this will lessen the fear of losing a client because you'll have more in your funnel to pull from. So remember, this is so important. Remember this. When one door closes, and I know this sounds so cliche, but it's something I firmly believe. When one door closes, another one is sure to be opened for you. And, when things seem dark and gloomy, if you can just move past that, you'll realize that in order to get to the other side, you have to work through that stuff and then plan for the future and keep forging ahead. And I know you can do it. So included in this special episode's show notes, I'm going to have some links for inspiration on how to overcome obstacles, including a TED Talk that is super inspiring for you to go through. And maybe you don't need it right now, but when you experience a setback or an obstacle and you're just feeling down and you need some inspiration, head over to dvpodcasts.com and search for this special episode's show notes. I will actually have it as dvpodcasts.com/inspired/obstacle. Well, that does it for this special episode of the Inspired Entrepreneur's Guide podcast. Join me next month for my very special guest interview with Julienne Desjardins, who is a virtual assistant and a work-at-home mom. She will be sharing her entrepreneurial story and offer some advice and guidance on working from home with a little baby. So until next month, remember, be inspired by the most important person in your life, you. Thanks so much for listening. This is Darlene Victoria, signing out.